It's time to create a profitable, scalable, and sustainable studio for yourself and your students. Welcome to Dance Studio Empire. I'm Jen, dance studio owner for 30 years, running multiple locations with over 1,000 students, dance business coach turned mastermind mentor for dance studio owners, creatives, and leaders like you. I know you're committed to growing your studio and creating the time and financial freedom you most want, while also being the best in the industry with a reputation to match. I've coached hundreds of studio owners who have grown to 250, 500, and over 1,000 students using my signature studio scaled method. And in this podcast, I'll give you the clarity, strategy, and CEO mindset to help you do the same. Let's dive in. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode, everyone. I just want to check in with you all and make sure everyone's okay and hanging in there, because there's a lot happening. And as usual, off the back of conversations that I'm having in the present moment, I'm hearing a lot of you are tired. A lot of you are feeling on the edge of burning out. You're feeling like there's no end in sight. You're putting in the work and not seeing the results. And so I thought, it made me think, okay, what advice can I give you? And I never want to overwhelm you with stuff or make things complicated. I'm actually the opposite of that. I want it to be simple for you. And as I was doing some research on this, I actually felt myself a little bit in this situation as well. And if you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, I've been talking about that burning out and what we need to watch and how we can keep doing what we're doing without burning out. And so today's episode is still a little bit along the same lines, but more focused on that energetic capacity that we have. So the idea of our creative minds having to continually implement and innovate and and then make things happen, it does. It feels like we get to this energetic capacity where I'll speak for myself, you just want to shut down. And so let's go in a little bit more into that. So as you know, if you've been listening, I'm about nearly a week out from our retreat. So this is our Dance Business Scaled retreat. And although I ran a retreat last year, this year is a lot bigger. There is a lot more involved. There's more people, many moving parts, and I want it to be really good. So there's a lot of time and energy and creating going into it. And so I'm feeling this as well as the studio owners who are, maybe you've had your end of year recital, maybe you've had a mid-year showcase, prepping for comps, prepping for exams. Maybe it's even just the thought of getting your head around starting to organize costumes for the end of year concerts. There's just so much happening. And so as I said, I just went back into, okay, when I get to this point, what is it that I do in the most simple way? So just a quick reflection on that energetic capacity and what it actually means, like having an understanding of it. And it is really just the maximum amount of physical, emotional, and mental energy that you have available at any time. And when we hit our energetic capacity, this is when we start feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and unable to perform at our best. And this can be particularly challenging for us as dance studio owners because we are constantly giving our all to our students, to our business, to our family, and usually you're neglecting yourself, but it should be to yourself as well. And it sort of reminds me of that analogy of the cup being filled with water, continually filled, and not having a time or an opportunity to empty it out, which is basically when we have some downtime and we switch off. That's when we can empty the cup. We're not. It's filling up the top and it's overflowing. So let me give it to you as simply as possible. And this is what I come back to all the time and what I'm coming back to a little bit at the moment myself. My biggest mindset hack when it comes to hitting that energetic capacity is to prioritize and simplify. That's it. Prioritize and simplify. And so I'm going to now speak to you a little bit about how I do that to try and, again, I don't want to overwhelm you with the ideas, but it just might help. It might trigger one thing that will enable you just to recover a little bit from that. All right, so prioritize and simplify. It's just about truly focusing on what matters and eliminating the unnecessary. There are always going to be things that you need to do. There are always things like you're going to have to continually feed yourself. You're going to have to continually look after, possibly you have children or you've got parents or a sibling or a friend that you have to do. There are things we have to do to keep going, but we want to prioritize. So that's the first one, is to identify your priorities. Okay, so what are the most crucial aspects of your studio that requires your attention right at this moment? Now, this could be anything from engagement, it could be communication, it could be quality of classes for business growth. It also could be that personal well-being. All right, so how do you find that? Some tips for identifying your priorities is list your tasks. So write down all the tasks that you handle on a daily and weekly basis. Now, I have said before, I do have a time and task tracker, which I recommend everyone doing this. So I think it's a really good exercise to do it quite regularly, is writing down those tasks that you are doing every day, every week. The next thing I want you to do once you have those tasks is then to put them into categories. So categorize them into urgent, important, and non-essential. And then focus on what drives the most value for your studio. So there'll be things on that list that are not going to break you if you don't do them for a week or two, but there's things that you're going to have to do every time. And then finally, so you've listed your tasks, you've categorized them into urgent, important, and non-essential. And the third one is to delegate or eliminate those non-essential ones. So trust your team with responsibilities that don't require your direct input. And now this also comes back to really setting up your systems and having processes in place so that if you are doing tasks that can be delegated, you should have something in your systems where someone can step in and know exactly what to do. And if not, this is something you can work on. Not right now, because right now we're concentrating on the things that are important. But if you have put in time before, this is where it becomes really beneficial and useful if you have done that work in the past. All right, so that's the first one, identifying your priorities. Now, the second one is just to simplify your operations. So once you've identified your priorities, it's now time to simplify. Complexity is the enemy of productivity. Now, I'm going to say that again for it to sink in. Complexity is the enemy of productivity. So you want to be streamlining your processes so you can significantly reduce your workload and then free up the mental space. Again, this type of thing you want planning and to be executing at times when you are not desperate or at this point where you've hit that energetic capacity. But if you're in it right now, what I suggest you do is just have a look at what you're doing and what can you simplify right now to reduce your workload. Now, ways you could do this could be just to automate those routine tasks. So using any software, technology that can do the repetitive tasks for you. I know a lot of you are already on the scheduling and the billing and the communication with automatic tasks, tasks that can be automated. And so that's really good. Have a look in these times where you're now feeling that pull because you are so exhausted, yet still having to do things. Is there anything on that list where you can be like, yeah, that can definitely be automated? I just wanted to take a quick moment to share something exciting with you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, hitting your energetic capacity, and need a breakthrough to scale your studio, I have just the thing for you. I would love to invite you to the Dance Studio Scaled Retreat, which is happening at the end of June at the gorgeous Nunaweena Retreat. This is more than just a retreat. It's a lifeline for studio owners who want to grow their business without burning out. So imagine walking away with a clear plan for 2025. Yes, I said 2025. A simplified business strategy that focuses on scaling what you're already doing well and practical steps to eliminate what's not working. You'll learn how to find more time for the important things, achieve a sustainable work-life blend, and build a studio that's both energetically fulfilling and balanced. So over these 3 transformative days, you'll enjoy luxurious accommodation, delicious meals prepared by a private chef, and intimate business development sessions. You'll also connect with like-minded studio owners, learn from expert guest speakers, and participate in rejuvenating activities designed to refresh your mind and spirit. Now, if you're ready to reclaim your time, boost your confidence as a CEO, and lead your studio to new heights, this retreat is for you. So check out the details in the show notes or send me a message if you have any questions. Let's work together to make 2025 your best year yet. All right, back to the episode. Another way is just to standardize your procedures. So going back to creating that standard operating procedures, your SOPs for the common tasks. So this not only saves time, but also ensures consistency in your operations. Like I just mentioned before, if this is in place, it's a lot easier for someone to step in and start doing things because you have a document or video or information that they can follow step by step so they can do the job without you having to worry about it. And another thing is just really focusing on core things that are a focus in the studio at the time. So it may be that you're about to sit your kids for exams, so that's where your priorities might just have to lay for a bit. So keeping your teachers up to date with stuff, keeping communication open with the parents and the kids, that might be your focus and what's important at the time. You just might have to take a breath with the other stuff. And I always talk about, at the time, hopefully when you're feeling good, because we're continually moving in, I'd say a roller coaster, but in seasons when we're feeling great and we've got energy and we're creating and things are flowing beautifully. And then other times when it's all too much, we can't create, we get these blocks. So in the good times, when you're building and creative and you've prioritized that time, that's when you should be able to take your foot off the accelerator with those extra things. The momentum of that should just keep going as you get through, and where you can just prioritize then, you can just focus then on what's really important at that time. All right, number 3. So we've got, number 1 was identify your priorities. Number 2 was to simplify your operations. Number 3 is to embrace the power of saying no. Now, learning to say no is a very powerful skill. It's easy to fall into the trap of overcommitting and stretching yourself too thin. I know majority of you, I would say, are pretty much people pleasers. You don't want to say no. You feel like you're letting people down. But saying no to those non-essential tasks and opportunities then just allows you to stay focused on your priorities and maintain your energy levels. And right now, that's what's important. So you really should be just focusing on that. And if anyone's lived a little, they will understand. So, ease up on yourselves, give yourself a bit of a break, and just learn to say no. So how can you do that? I'm going to help you. I'm going to help the people pleasers out there who struggle with that. The first one is really just to set boundaries. Now, you establish these boundaries for your time and your energy. But the trick is you need to communicate these boundaries to your team, to your students, even maybe sometimes to your family, depending, how intense they are. Just make sure you yourself know what they are, and then let others know. The next one is to evaluate opportunities. So if you are presented with an opportunity, before committing to it, just evaluate whether it aligns with your priorities and your goals right at this moment. And if they don't right now, maybe say no. And if you do say no, it's not always about a no forever. It may be just a no, not right now, but it may be something that you could revisit down the track. Okay, and the next one is to practice self-care. Now, I've said it before in podcasts. I realize a lot of people do struggle with this. I'm living a real life with you guys, and I know finding that time for self-care is tricky, especially if you've got a family or friends and life outside of the studio, which I really do hope you have. But just remember that saying no to others often means that you're saying yes to yourself. So you can then prioritize more things for yourself, more self-care to recharge and maintain your energy. Because the reality is, if you're out because you're so exhausted and you're burnt out and you've got nothing left to give, you're actually useless to everyone around you. So if you're feeling guilty about taking time for yourself, think about it like that. If you don't take care of yourself, ultimately other things will suffer, including your business, your family, and everything that then comes with that. Okay, now the fourth thing, after embracing the power now, we're now going to cultivate a supportive mindset. Your mindset plays a crucial role in how you handle energetic capacity. So you want to cultivate a positive, supportive mindset that can help you then navigate challenges and stay resilient. So how do we do this? The first thing is to practice gratitude. So focusing on the positives and express gratitude for the progress that you've made and the support that you have. I've been at times, now I'm naturally a positive person and I can usually find the positive in any situation. But there are times when it all feels a lot, and I've had to force myself to find positives or be grateful for the small things. And it feels fake. And it might even be, I am so grateful that the sun's out today. I am so grateful that I have warm socks on my feet. Like, it feels forced, but it almost is just me reminding myself and my mind that I do have the ability to stay positive, and then that becomes a natural flow. So that's the first one, practicing gratitude. Next one would be mindfulness practices. So incorporating mindful practices such as meditation, if that's something you're into, deep breathing. Maybe it's even just a walk outside, like to get some fresh air. Maybe it's just to sit in the sun and read a book. Just find something that will allow you to stay centered and calm. That will then help that mindset. And finally, for this one is positive affirmations. Now, I know some people might not be into this, some people are. To me, doing this sort of work, mindset work is probably the top priority that we all should be working on. And the focus isn't on it. However, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be really focusing on it. I do have an interview coming up with a life coach, and we talk a lot about this. But it costs you nothing to do this, and it will cost you, and the results from it will be huge. So positive affirmations, using those positive affirmations just to reinforce your strength and capability. Okay, just all affirmations do are remind yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. So you've got this. This is not going to cost you money. This is going to cost you a bit of time, but it's worth it because it will bring you back around to that point where you are ready to go again. All right, so hitting that energetic capacity is a common challenge, but with the right mindset and strategies, you can then navigate it effectively. So you want to prioritize and simplify your tasks, embrace that power of saying no, cultivate a supportive mindset, and you can then maintain your energy and thrive as a dance studio owner. So remember, you're not alone on this journey. And I know it does feel like you're alone sometimes. You're absolutely not. Right now, if you're listening to this in real time, there's one day left to get tickets to our Dance Studio Scaled retreat, and it's designed to provide you with the tools, the strategy, and the support that you will need to manage your energy and grow your studio. You've been sitting on the fence waiting. Now is the time. There is one day left to get your tickets, and I think there's only 2 spots available anyway. So if you are interested, please send me a message on Instagram. Is probably the best way to contact me, and we can have a conversation. I can send you to a page with more information, and yeah, we can get you there. It's only a week away.